All right, y'all, what's going on? Welcome to the Thursday 1 o'clock Eastern Time, 12 o'clock Central Time Bookmap stream. And before we get started here, we'll discuss the disclosure. Material information and presentation is for educational and entertainment purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice or recommendations. Any and all statements made on this channel are the sole opinions of Options Millionaire channel and should not be taken as financial advice. No financial decision should be made based on materials shown here. Trading futures, equities, and options involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. An investor could potentially lose all or more of their initial investment. Risk capital is money that cannot be lost without jeopardizing one's financial security nor lifestyle. Only risk capital should be used for trading, and only those with sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Trading is one of the most riskiest and difficult tasks one could undertake and must be approached with extreme caution. Do not invest any money you cannot afford to lose. Good stuff. Be responsible. So what do we got going on today? For now, all eyes are on 44.10. That is the big dog level. It's been on for 3 weeks, shifted up 5 points today. Couple of close calls. We got within 1 point before a bounce, and we are now, what, 15 points higher, 17 points higher? I do think we will fill that before the end of the day. I'm still not looking to buy the dip. Why? Buy volume is very weak. We have top wicks galore, and the rest of the market is not really moving. Not to mention 44.10 appears to be a target. We'll see though. XLF just bounced off my 34.05 level, nearly to the penny, which resulted a little bit in ES bouncing back up here. We have got NASDAQ. Came back up to about 14.952. ES is 44.24. Apple responded with a slightly trendy bounce here, but very slow. And Nvidia put on a nice little recovery too. XLF trying to, and VIX is 1684. They're still not killing the VIX. That's the big thing here. They're still not rolling over volatility, holding out this bearishness. 44.25 here, back to the main time POC. We've got a little bit of liquidity, 44.30, with obviously the big dog still holding 44.10. I had a long limit set for 44.09 on ES. It never filled. We got down to 44.11. I was hoping to come back for some profits, but unfortunately, 2 points cost me about 15 or 16. Overall, not that crazy because we barely even bounced off the bottom. So, currently flat, no contracts. There's no liquidity on the books to speak of except for the 44.10. On ES, on NASDAQ, we've got a little bit at 14.850. And once we take out that lows, I'll expect that'll be the target for the NASDAQ. So, yeah. Let's see, I need to do that's a good idea. There we go. There we go. If y'all need the YouTube stream as well, I'll post it here and as well as here. Are you looking at a potential TLT long in the future? Yes, I am. Very near future. The bonds continue to be crushed. I think we could potentially face one more significant drop, and then I'm going to back up my 2018 paid-for Toyota Tundra and load up as much as I can. 44.23, we've got a little bit of red coming off, more like a 4 or 5 point drop. Yes, I still think is going to round over and top that 44.10. That won't be much. I've maxed that thing out, man. I had I put a 350-gallon water tank in the back and filled up with water, and I forgot about it. I turned the hose on to fill it up, and I forgot about it, and it came back in like 3/4 full. And I had the thing was already down to the springs. You can imagine what, about 3/4 full of 350 gallons times about 8 pounds a gallon. Yeah, I'd max that thing out. Had to drain it out real quick. It can hold its own. I was waiting for that YouTube link. You're welcome, Vampire. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I took shorts near 44.15, hoping for 44.10. I got smoked. Well, we are right now dealing with the 10.50 swing high pivot of 44.27. So we came back up. We put a dip down to 10.30. We bounced back up, and about 10.50 we rejected 44.27, and we are now rejecting that for the third time. It was also the main rejection level for that 1 hour consolidation we had at 9.50 and 9.45, which was gross. Yeah, so this may lead us back down to 44.10. Overarching, Bookmap does not telling us too much at the moment. Oh. Ew. What is that guy? So 4,400 just got stacked. And which further solidifies my thesis that once the morning shakeout culminates, XLF will retreat back to 34.05 and ES will come down and transact 44.10. But this complicates things a little bit. So now, do I go about buying the dip once we touch 44.10, or is that a recipe to get smoked like a Texas brisket? I do love some brisket, but I don't want to be the brisket. I want to eat the brisket. Let's see here. Let's see here. $528 orders at 4,400. Now, normally, I don't really look at 40 like the 0-0 levels too much, right? Because they are 0-0 levels. There's usually always liquidity at 0-0. This time, though, there was not any liquidity at 4,400, and now we have newly managed liquidity at 4,400, and it's off, and it's gone. He just took it off. So, I guess not. We'll wait for 44.10 though. I'm thinking 30 touch first. It's possible. The jabroni who put that on there was probably on my stream. He's like, oh, they see us. Take it off. Take it off. I'm short here. Third rejection could be a good move down. Yeah, could be. Could be. What else we have? Do we have any upside? No. So here's what I'm talking about. We have the morning high and low pivoted, obviously, plotted, and now we've got this level I'm kind of thinking about. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wicks off of 440.61 in this time frame, and then another one, another one, another one. So obviously we can't get above 440.6. I want to take so many puts here, you can call me Vladimir Putin. That was terrible, I'm sorry. I'm already short, there you go. I like it. Alright. Double top, 44.6, triple top. Nice liquidity down. Apple's going to break. Let's see what our shorts look like. 44.07 already coming off. 4,400 put sounds very tempting right here. And now we're really moving down. Now we're really moving down. You're welcome, Liquid. You're welcome. Other than the 44.10, we don't have very much liquidity at all. We started out with high liquidity. We had liquidity all over the place. But for now, we have nothing except this jabroni right here and this cat, which I guarantee you will be put back on. He just kind of gave us a little glimpse into what he's doing. And we're going to watch him. 4,400. We don't have any real catalyst today. We've got a little bit of a Fed thing, Fed balance sheet after the market closes. Other than that, that's it. Tomorrow, no, nothing at all. Just a dumpster fire of catalyst, nothing. Say hello to future OM trader. Oh man, look at you. Congratulations, dude. Congratulations, dude. It's awesome. Due April 2nd. You need to try to have that baby on April 1st. So you can play jokes that kid's entire life. That would be fun. with great minds, naked trader. Great mind. All right, 4420 breaking down here. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. Very light volume. I'm looking for a spike in volume, which usually starts to occur about 2:15, give or take, is when the volume typically starts to increase in the afternoon. Which means we have about another hour until the volume starts to pick back up. Once that happens, maybe we'll have a refresh lower. Apple's starting to kind of chug along here. They're in a clearly defined tight upwards range. Is that a retest resistance? That is a triple top right there. That's other retesting. So we're kind of coming to that range there, and we need to figure out how we're going to react to that. Pretty tight stuff. Wee wee. How's the moose hunting in Canada, by the way? Dan, do you do any hunting? I'm curious. Yeah. It's one of the few games I haven't eaten. I've had elk. I've even had yak, but I have not had meese. I'd love to try some meese. I'm wondering why we didn't follow through downwards at 1150. Broke previous day's lows, high volume, full body candle. Everything saw pointed to a move to 4410. I agree with you. I was looking for that 4410 to finally be popped, and we just came on down to it. There was too much. I mean, there's not really a better answer except there was just too much demand sitting at 4411. 4411 is where we started to base and pop overnight. So we came on down to pre-market lows, and they gave us a little bounce. I still think we're going to touch it today, but right now we just got to wait. You go out 3 hours north and get one easy, and they're massive. Oh yeah. Honestly, there's not much worth trading here at the moment. It's been a very wonky day. Aside from, I mean, we have obviously a very trend down morning, but it's been very crazy, very wicky. Every 5-minute candle was heavily wicked. We could not get any true direction without the opposing party hitting. We had a lot of sell pressure in tech, but there's so much green in the X sectors right now that ES would just simply not fall. I took a play this morning. I closed out a put for about 37%. And that's it. I had a limit order for an ES long at 44.09, did not get filled. So yeah. Now tomorrow, look for the VIX crush, if that were to happen. So if you wake up in the morning and you start to see them rolling the VIX, then you need to start looking at calls or longs. Hey, what YouTube video would y'all like to see next? What's something that y'all can agree on? I'm starting to build like I said, I'm going to start building the Options 101 series for newbies and for young teenagers. But if something else y'all could work on, let me know. Like long-term investing? Could do that. I was only going by the SPY charts. I never had an indication we had bounced there overnight. Yep, that's one of the reasons I track ES, King, is to track the overnight pivots. Just like I track the morning range, the overnight pivots are incredibly important. Anytime there's a major pivot on a particular time frame, you've got to pay attention to it in general, especially on ES, because there's a reason why that thing bounced or rejected at that level, and most likely it'll play out again once we come down to that level, unless we have some sort of catalyst high volume move. High volume is the only way that we blow through a major pivot. I'd be curious to see you debunk some commonly bad options financial advice. You basically did that with DS, and I think you got you some good views. Yeah, I think I got about 10,000 views on that Disney video. As I've said, my biggest struggle is when to enter in a trend. I've always wanted to see volume, but the move has already happened before a test or reversal. Catching a trend is a balance between predicting where the market's going to pivot through analysis and waiting for confirmation. There's a balance. And depending on the style of trade, that waiting on confirmation, there's a fine line. If you're scalping, you don't have long to wait for confirmation. If you're putting on a swing trade, then yeah, you've got a couple of days to wait for confirmation. So trying to catch a trend, and then once you're entering a trend, after that, it's trade management through stop losses and trailing stops. The best traders out there are not better at predicting than we are. They just manage their trades like a professional manages their trades. They just manage their trades in a professional manner. Cut the losses short, let the winners run, and they do that through position management. What's my long target on TLT? I have a long term, I'd say 130, 140. Short term, I could see 100, 105 pretty, within the next couple of months. Not to say it won't have some more pressure. If I took a leap, I'd take somewhere in the ballpark of 120. If I took a short-term, like monthly trade, I'd look in the ballpark of 100, 105. How to finance a trade would be a good video. Selling puts to buy calls. Yeah, I'd like that. As Mrs. OM pointed out, because she helps me do like analysis, like research this stuff, is that the more basic the video is, the more views I have, obviously, because there's going to be a larger proportion of number of people who are beginners. What's the current status of my book? In progress. I couldn't tell you about ETA because I don't really know about the stuff, but it's working. It's coming through there. All right, we are starting to break down a little bit here. 439.76. I have an iceberg coming along higher. We have the morning low coming up, which is 4,417.25. 75, I'm sorry. We're now through the morning low, coming off. Now we're starting to get a little heavy. Look at all those icebergs coming on. Look at all those icebergs coming on. This one video titled, "This One Indicator Makes Me 50,000 one day." Get 1 million views. Yeah, but if you say something like that, you got to back it up too. If it's clickbait, you'll lose all credibility. Can't do clickbait. All right, so 44.17 still dropping off. We have 3 icebergs coming on above us. So opposite of the direction of the transaction here. Obviously, my main target is 44.10 here. Coming off. Dropping 44.16. I think the real move will occur in about 40 minutes. About 1:15. So about an hour, a little less than an hour. Video about EMA crossover. I've already done that actually. I did an 821 crossover video about a year, 2 years ago. All right, so we're back under the morning low. Watch this shift. Look at, we have 4 different icebergs coming on here, so that is different. Should I go nap? Should not go nap. Yep, 821 crossed over. All right. S4 would be nice. Dude, S4 would be glorious. Glorious. 44.16. Quitting while I'm ahead, but this looks like a move will happen soon. I'd probably say here, yeah, it's going to happen shortly. What price do you plan on entering TLT? I'm not sure yet. I'm really going to start looking in the low 90s. Can you explain what iceberg does? Icebergs are a representation of someone or an algorithm putting on a block of orders of which we don't know the entire quantity. It could, this 18 could be a set of 5,000 orders. It could be 100. We don't know. So it shows intent, and there's, all it is really is someone programming their brokerage or they're programming for entry, order entry, to show only certain orders. And once they execute that iceberg, you'll see it sometimes come on. So this can sometimes come off and then transfer into open liquidity, seen liquidity, and you'll see it pop up as liquidity and the iceberg disappears. So that is just an indication of order flow of someone putting on a certain number of of orders. And it usually drives sentiment. Now sometimes I don't always just blindly pay attention to them unless they're set up in a certain direction, certain way. We just saw about 4 or 5 of them come on and transact. We've got 2 on the books now, and we're still putting in slight lows here. First time being able to log into my E-Trade account. Glad to see I'm only down 40 instead of hundreds. Nice. Big nicks. 44.15. Is this where we tap 44.10? You're welcome, Jason. Also, I highly recommend Bookmap's knowledge base. If you haven't been there and you are a consumer of Bookmap product, it's awesome to just go kind of browse around and just look at the description for add-ons and what all this stuff means from a technical aspect. 44.16 here. All right, dropping off again. We have another iceberg right here. 121. So we have a lot more icebergs coming on than we have the past couple hours. Trying to watch. Just moving slowly. Another top wick, low volume. I will tell you this, until volume hits the tape, it's still going to be a little shaky. You're still going to have some scary moments of being reversed because the opposing party can move things very easily. But I will tell you this, once we tap 44.10, it's going to require a spike in volume to get through it, and once we do, all bets are off from there. VIX still going back up 17.15. At 44.12, he's going to remove it, probably. He's probably just messing with us at this point. Nothing. There's no liquidity higher. It's all this guy. It's all or nothing. It all boils down to this guy right here. 3 weeks worth of waiting. Top wick and move lower. $44.14. Extremely slow, extremely low volume. In fact, this volume is anomalous of the week. Based on where European market closed and VIX is not tanking, the chances for a dip to continuation fall for options expiration for tomorrow. Tomorrow, I don't know, because it is OPEX itself. However, knowing my rules, as long as we hold morning low and never recapture morning high, probability says we're going to put in new lows into the last couple hours of the day. And so far, it looks like we're about to do that momentarily. 44.13, still dropping. Still dropping. Any further liquidity beyond that? No. In fact, there's nothing above or below. It's just all this guy right here. There's a couple of onesies and twosies above, but nothing big. This is the biggest level on the books right now. All eyes on that. Double top off this little swing area. Coming on back down. NASDAQ probably is going to go for 850 once this move occurs to the downside. VIX is still climbing. SPX is at 43.99, so it's broken under 4,400. There goes Microsoft lower. We're about to break it. Watch this. Watch this. Man, and more icebergs above. More order flow. Here we go. 44.12. XLF gave it all back, yeah. I got faked out thinking we could hit 44.30 during the earlier breakdowns, got destroyed. Well, I still haven't seen anything bullish on this chart. That's why I didn't looking at any longs until we breach this liquidity. Man, look at all these freaking icebergs. 44.12. So I'm not looking for 44.30 or above until we have volume to support that and market structure to support that, which we haven't had today. We have now 5 icebergs above us, all scattered about, all pretty small, but still. 44.12 about to break into 40.11s, and now coming on low of the day. Still moving. Still moving. CVD has flipped back to negative. Not yet. So Spot Gamma has posted that for the first time this week, that the options flow today was longer dated instead of 0 DTE, and it was typically all longer dated puts. Buying longer dated puts today. Coming off, here we go. 44.12. We have one more point to put in a new low of the day. We now have 6 icebergs above, now 5 again, they just transacted 1. XLF has a long way to fall here. They still have another 10 cents or so to go to get to their low. And one more tick will get us to the low of the day. Some of y'all are like, come on, do it. Just do it. Let's watch this 400 guy come back to this 4,000 guy, because he came on earlier right here, came off. There's no liquidity coming on whatsoever above, nothing. There's absolutely nothing. Like the upper liquidity is just non-existent. But we have a whole crap ton of icebergs. NASDAQ is straight on falling. SPY being 439, so it's under 440. It's under the largest GEX strikes here, and is now in positive GEX territory again. Here it is. Still jumping over. I think this is going to do it. Look, you see this 486. Watch this 486 guy, and watch this 2137 right here. Another iceberg. All those icebergs came off. They put them on lower. Watch, it's going to do it. Come on. Break it. Transacted that one. 4125. Oh, this is going to do it. Watch this. Yeah, buddy. Volume is starting to come in. Increase in volume. Higher volume than the first test. Can they do it? Been waiting 3 weeks for it. Microsoft is on a very strong downtrend. Apple is starting to. The VIX is possibly. Amazon's coming off. Now, unlike last time, the entire market is correlated down. Financials, tech, etc. Another iceberg here, 60 orders. We have a slight uptick in volume right here. One more push and we'll do it. But it's going to require volume to get through here. You know that scene in Back to the Future, the very opening, where he cranks up the volume in that giant speaker and he blows through the wall? That's what we're going to want right here. That's what we need right here. Everybody who's got Bookmap right now is zoomed in right now. They're all looking at this, and they all think it's proprietary. Jabronis. 4410. Can we get through it? No, no, not jabroni. Not Bookmap people. I love them people. 44.13. All right. So obviously it's slow. We had a slight uptick in volume. You see this right here. Not a high spike, but uptick. Choose my words carefully. I'd love to see it take out the prior levels here. Now this is the 5-minute chart you're looking at. Let's go to the 15 right here. 15-minute sees who's truly in control today. Let's go to the 60, not the 6, the 60 right here. Whole lot of red on that chart, huh? Do you think we need an increase in volume before it'll drop? I think we need an increase in volume to get through this 44.10. This is so slow. Another bag of TRTX to the grandson. Nice tug. I love it. I love it. We're just hanging out at the bottom here. Getting lotto calls ready again? Well, if you are going to be taking lotto calls, think about it this way. Let's think about what's about to happen when this actually breaches. We'll have the push. It'll come down to 44.10. It'll pin there for a few minutes. It'll kind of do this little oscillation where it won't even bounce off of it. It'll just pin. We'll get a big old spike of volume, big old red bubble, and then it'll blast through. We'll have the big drop through it, and we don't know how large it'll be, but it will drop through it, 44.03, 44.07, with a bottom wick. And the amount of volume on there will determine how far we actually go. Now, the fact that this guy's putting on 4400 and then took it off shows that could be a likely target. The E's love the 0 levels. But still. Man, this is slow. Super slow. Icebergs above, will they be resistance? Not necessarily. It really depends on directionality and the management. For now, though, all I'm seeing is just low volume price action, which is difficult to trade. $44.12. At 44.09 was 44.05, which has been on for 3 weeks. But they shifted it up to 44.10 this morning. Here's another test right here. Let's watch it. Let's watch it. $44.11. Here's a test of low of the day. Will they do it? Puts are increasing in volume, which I think means we're about to go through it. Increasing in price too, which means people are they're buying into puts right now. Here we go. Watch the volume. It'll be ready. Here we go. Here's the volume. Here it is right here. It's coming. Here comes the volume. 3, 2, 1. Right now. Abracadabra. Abracadabra. Leviosa. Now. Look at the volume coming in, though. It's starting to hit the tape. See how it's gluing to it, just like we talked? Sticking right to it, not bouncing off of it. There he is. Come on. Here it is. Yeah, buddy. Bam. Blasted. There's the Dumperoni 4407. Coming on down. High volume dump to get through it. Down to 4407. Let's see what the continuation we have is. Booyakasha. And at the money puts just almost doubled in value based on that little pump right there. 3-4 points. 4,400 just went. This gained about 45% in value just on that little pump, that little drop right there. There goes SPY coming on down through 4406. And that is the highest volume candle we've had since 1010. Coming on through. I'm already in them, King. I'm in 4400s. 4407.50. Dropping off. CVD is negative 6,000. Now, how do the bulls react after all of this? New low of the day in the afternoon indicates that we're going to continue trend down. Apple just put another low of the day in. We've got 4407.50. Blasted. Beautiful. That right there is the value of Bookmap. When we approach a level like that, icebergs or large liquidity levels, understanding how price action deals with those levels when they get there is amazing. It's amazing. $44.08. Now watch this candle. There's no more active large liquidity levels anywhere. There's no more. So if the buyers buy up this candle after the final breach, then we know what to do. If not, 4,400 will be my target, at which point all down positions will be closed. They're putting this guy back on 4404. So from now on, it's VPA. No more liquidity levels on Bookmap. It's all VPA. That level's what we've been tracking for 3 weeks. What's up, Salim? How you doing? Love to see it. Love to see it. $44.08. New low coming off. 4405. Keep on going, baby. Keep on going. Keep on going. We going to 437? Well, now that we've taken out these levels, the next target is going to be about 4,400. Now, SPY doesn't have any major pivots until about 437, which would be about $1.50. So yeah, what's interesting about this What's interesting about this is next week the GEX rolls even lower, and the gamma flip point rolls even lower as well. So once we get through this expiration on tomorrow at the 18th, then I don't see things improving next week. You're welcome, MX. Since we breached 4109, am I looking to get into calls? No. The first time, yeah, but we already that ship has sailed. That ship has sailed this morning. So now this is a double tap. Now it's a double tap of these 4400. So 4408 right here. 4400 I'm going to close out. $44.05. Without Bookmap, I would 100% play calls there. There you go. There you go. Well, there are two things too, man. One, and I've been warning y'all a week that today was going to be a trend day. I didn't know if trend up or trend down, but today was going to be a trend. So don't get in the habit of trying to buy the freaking dips when it just keeps on dipping. Same like the upside on the trend up days. Don't be looking for shorts. Today is a trend down day, low volume trend down. And the only time I was considering a long was if once we transacted 44.10 and came down to 44.09. That's where I had my limit order. But once we bounced off of it the first time, that now becomes a lower confidence play, and I'm not going to front run that. The first touch, I'll front run that crap all day long. Second touch, not so much. That's the only point today I was looking to go long. And now that that's broken, I'll look for transacting down to 4,400, and I'm going to keep on riding these things down and go from there. I will only look for longs from here on out as if I have a VPA bounce. Because Bookmap right now, the value in using Bookmap for that order flow, the big picture now is kind of is diminished for today's session. So now I have to rely on VPA because that big 4,410 pull is gone. We've been waiting for 3 weeks, it's gone. So now target is about 4,400. If we get 4,400 touch, 4,400 levels are typically good areas to look for a bounce. If we do, I'll confirm with VPA, I'll take a call, and that's all she wrote. I am Salim. A firm. We are only 0.2. I would not call it a trend down. Well, we are in a trend down, regardless of the amount. I mean, ES is down 30-something points from the highs, and the entire session has been down, and we took out the morning lows. Once you take out the morning lows, it's technical trend down. Let's see, 44.07 coming down to 4. Microsoft is still dropping, Apple is still dropping, Amazon is still dropping. XLF is not yet at support, and VIX is up. But we can see the last hour slight pump, and we are up for the day. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, if we were to bounce, we would be up for the day, definitely. How is SPY not dropping if Apple and Amazon are dropping? Because right now, 6 of the 10 sectors are green. No, I'm sorry, 3 of the 10 sectors. I was looking at something different. And energy is up 1.83%. XLF was up strong. It's finally starting to give some back. XLV is finally starting to give it back. So now we're starting to finally see the X sectors come along. So once they really start to fade down, then the ES will put a new low. NASDAQ is down 0.5. ES is down 0.2. So once that starts to really drop, then yeah, we'll have that big move. Is it too late to enter shorts at 44.07, target of 4,400? The risk reward is not quite there. But if you want to take a quick scalp, do your thing, just set your appropriate parameters, but the risk reward is certainly not there. Beautiful. All right. $44.08. Not a lot of liquidity. Not anymore. We started the day with high liquidity and trimmed everything off as they transacted. Now we finally breached 44.08, and we have 44.05 on deck. Made a quick 45% on the spot drop. Happy, nice. 4 days of constant gains. I love it. First time in your life doing so. I love it, Dan. I love it. Keep it up, buddy. Have a good weekend, Radek. Good vacation. Hopefully wherever you're going. Enjoy some good food. Take some pictures. I want to see it. It's good stuff. Interesting. Belarus says they will use tactical nuclear weapons in the event of an aggression. Interesting. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 icebergs on. We have got a liquidity level of 44.05 and nothing else. What would be a good level to scalp more puts today to get to 4,400? Well, from here, I have to pretty much reset my calibrations and figure out where we're going. My entire thesis today was 4,400 or 44.10. Wipe out that 44.10. Now that we finally did, I don't know. I don't know where this thing's going. We do have a decent trend line here. We've got a lot of support coming on 4,400. We have OPEX tomorrow, which today is typically the move, with tomorrow being a bit of a choppy move. So today's, although trend down, it's definitely not as aggressive as I was hoping it would be. Yeah, very well could bounce. Now with GEX tomorrow pinning at 445, or the majority of GEX being at 445, I would not put out a realm possibility of a slight bounce into tomorrow and then consolidate and then continuation down next week. This jabroni is slowly learning the ways of the gabagool. You're welcome, Dan. I love it, man. I love when y'all start to see success and learn it. I get a steady flow of DMs, both positive and negative, so it's definitely nice to see the positive stuff. Y'all are my babies, man. I feel responsible for y'all. Chance of bouncing or staying flat? I mean, there's always a chance of that here. From a VPA aspect, we had a green candle. Top wick failed. We have a red one now. We have light volume still coming down. Surprising you get negative DMs. I mean, I have them both, dude. I get a lot of positive and negative, so it's definitely a mix. More positive than negative nowadays. When I first started, it's more negative than positive. Now it's more positive than negative, so it's great. Nice, Rob. We can send complaints. Yeah. Ain't no one gonna listen to you, but hey, you can send them. 219 Mike. I do wish I had a larger account so I could buy multiple contracts and take stuff off and leave runners. Well, that's the goal, isn't it? Moving up to it. Moving up to it. I'll put them in the special folder that goes to New York. After that pop, I'd have taken some off and left one. There you go. You'll be trading out a lot. Nice, Probby. Appreciate it. I love it, dude. I love it. Work hard, play hard. That's my motto. I've done the best ever in my life in the month of August, and I want to thank you for all your insight and help. Thanks for living in Central Texas. Appreciate that. You're very, very welcome. I appreciate your support. Watching the stream, hanging out. All right, we're holding under 44.10. We have a slight bounce. I've been listening to you for a year, learned a lot. Simplest and most important was trade small. Can't stress how much different that makes. Thanks. Yeah, absolutely. You got it. Trade small. Thanks for the support. So we're coming up on the top of the hour, which unfortunately will mean the end of the stream. They only allow me an hour. They let me out of my cage for an hour here and play, and then I have to go back in. 44.08. Tomorrow we have no catalyst. All we've got is OPEX. No news headline catalyst, I should say. I do expect volume to start picking back up here in about 15-20 minutes. So if you're looking for afternoon trades, there you go. You're welcome, Mr. 50. There has been a lot of streaming this week, but that's okay. I love it. $44.09. A lot of people got to take responsibility for their own faults and failures. Yeah. For sure. Yep. Do I think we'll hit 4,400 today? I'd say it's likely. Yeah. What's interesting, Mr. 50, is that in a profession on which you should not have any ego, I've never experienced more ego and arrogance than I have in trading. There's a phenomenal amount of ego and arrogance. And that's like the #1 Achilles heel for a trader. Phenomenal arrogance and egocentric. I'm not a languager. I do think we'll touch 4,400, King. I do. CVD is still holding red, 4,400. $44.08. $44.09. Now they're holding under the prior low. They're flagging. This looks more like a bear flag at 44.08, 44.09. But that is the first hour, so I appreciate y'all hanging out for Bookmap. We'll be back online next Thursday, 1 p.m. in the Bookmap server as well as the YouTube channel. If you haven't already, come back and join the server. The Options Millionaire server will be online tomorrow as well, Friday to end the week, and trade the waters of OPEX. Appreciate you hanging out, learning, asking questions, supporting the channel as always. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all next week. I'm out. See ya!